Today, we're diving into one of the most important cities in the world that you've probably never heard of. A true megacity with a story that involves emperors, mind-blowing industry, and a really unique identity.
Okay, so here's a weird one for you. What could possibly connect cutting-edge Airbus jets, centuries-old European architecture, and this really specific kind of rapid-fire comedy? I mean, it sounds like the setup for a very strange joke, right?
Well, the answer is they all come from one incredible place, the city of Tianjin. And if that name doesn't ring a bell, don't worry, you're not alone. But stick with me because you're about to find out why it's a city you won't forget. So, let's get into it.
To really get Tianjin, you have to start with its name, because its name actually tells this epic origin story. It's a tale that's tied directly to the founding of an imperial dynasty.
The name itself, Tianjin, literally translates to the Emperor's Ferry. And that's not just some poetic name. Back in 1404, a prince crossed the High River right at this spot to launch a military campaign to take the throne. And guess what? He won. When he became the great Yongle Emperor, he named the spot to forever mark the place where his destiny really began.
And that destiny was huge. For centuries, Tianjin was the crucial port that literally fed the capital, Beijing. Then, everything changed. In the 19th and 20th centuries, it was forced open to foreign powers and became a center of global conflict. But fast forward to today, and it's completely reinvented itself as the industrial heart of this massive economic megaregion.
Okay, and that brings us to the Tianjin of today. I want you to forget the past for just a second and look at the sheer industrial and technological power of its coastal engine room, a place called the Binhai New Area.
The scale here is just mind-boggling. The port of Tianjin isn't just big. We're talking about one of the top 10 busiest ports on the entire planet, year after year. It's the gateway to the sea for all of northern China.
And think about this, the last time you flew on an Airbus jet, there's a pretty good chance it was actually assembled right here. Tianjin is the only place in the world outside of Europe where Airbus builds both its single-aisle and its huge wide-body jets. That's a huge deal.
But it's not just about moving goods and building planes. Tianjin is also a major hub for high-performance computing. It's home to China's National Supercomputer Center and its insanely powerful Tianhe, or Milky Way, supercomputers.
Binhai really is like a vision of the future. We're talking fully automated ports where AI-driven cranes and driverless trucks do all the work. It's got a financial district that was designed to be China's Manhattan, and it even hosts a futuristic eco-city built with Singapore as a global model for what sustainable living could look like.
But just when you think you've got Tianjin pegged as this futuristic industrial giant, you take a short drive inland and the city completely, and I mean completely, transforms.
And this right here perfectly explains the city's dual personality. You've got Binhai, which is the city's modern engine, all steel, glass, and logistics. But then you have the old city center, which is its historic heart. It goes from sprawling factories to a place nicknamed a Museum of Universal Architecture. It's a real tale of two cities in one.
So why that nickname? Well, the city was once home to 9 different foreign concessions, British, French, Italian, you name it. The result is this incredible, almost surreal collection of European architecture. You can walk down the 5 great avenues, which are lined with hundreds of gorgeous villas, see landmarks like St. Joseph's Cathedral, and then, boom, you stumble upon modern marvels like the Tianjin Eye, a Ferris wheel literally built on top of a bridge, or the Porcelain House, a building that looks like something out of a wild dream, totally covered in millions of pieces of antique ceramics.
So you have this city with 2 totally different faces, the engine and the heart, but there's this third massive factor that defines everything, its giant next-door neighbor, the capital city of Beijing.
30 minutes. Just 30 minutes. That's all it takes to get from Tianjin to Beijing on China's very first high-speed rail line. Let me tell you, this isn't just a convenient trip. This number fundamentally shapes the lives of millions of people.
So what does this lead to? Well, it's created this phenomenon of the tidal commuter. Here's how it works. You live in Tianjin, where rent is way more affordable. But the key thing, the real game changer, is that it's easier to get a local residency permit, or hukou. A Beijing hukou is famously difficult to get, and you need it for things like public schools and healthcare. So people live in Tianjin, commute 30 minutes, and get access to all the high-powered jobs in the capital. It's a whole new urban lifestyle.
And look, this isn't just something that's happening by accident. It's actually official government policy. Beijing is just getting too crowded.
So the strategy is to move so-called non-capital functions out. And Tianjin is the #1 destination for those industries and people, making it Beijing's most essential partner, and basically, its official release valve.
But Tianjin is so much more than just an industrial base or a bedroom community for Beijing. It has this fierce, funny, and deeply flavorful soul that is all its own.
And you know, one of the best ways to get to a city's soul is through its food. Tianjin is a breakfast capital, for real. The absolute icon is the jianbing guozi, this perfect savory crepe folded around a crispy cracker, made fresh right in front of you. You've also got the famous Goobeli steamed buns, a historic brand known all over the country, and bustling food markets like Sibeijiao with incredible halal street food.
Beyond the food, Tianjin is the undisputed king of a very specific art form, xiangsheng. Think of it like traditional Chinese crosstalk comedy. It's this super witty, fast-paced dialogue between two performers, almost like a verbal sparring match full of puns and wordplay. The city's tea houses have nightly shows, and they're packed with locals who live and breathe this stuff.
In fact, the people from Tianjin are kind of stereotyped as being natural-born comedians. Their local dialect is famous for having this humorous, almost sing-song quality. And they have these charming local customs, like affectionately calling women of almost any age jiejie, which means big sister. It just speaks to this warm, funny, and uniquely down-to-earth culture.
So you're left with this incredible picture, right? A city of total contrasts, a global port that feels like a European museum, Beijing's essential partner that somehow remains fiercely unique. And that brings us to the big question. As the capital next door continues to expand and influence it, will Tianjin manage to forge its own independent future, or will it forever be defined by its original role as a crossing point, as the emperor's ferry?